Hey, Sunny here. Today I want to do a video on understanding mode in 15 minutes. Uh, so when we're done with this, you should have a basic understanding of what modes are. So before we start, I'm going to show you a major scale pattern that I'm going to use. A lot of time when you see people show scale shape, they usually do 2 notes, 3 notes, 2 notes, 3 notes. It's all over the place. So I want to show you consistently 3 notes per string, which is very finger friendly for shredding, because you have you have 3 notes per string, so it's easy to remember. Uh, so let me show it to you. So this is a major scale pattern in the key of G. So it's G major. I will start from the 3rd fret of the low E string, and the pattern is going to sound like this: from G to G, covers 2 octaves over 6 strings. So you go from 1st G, root note, 2nd G, 7th, which is the 5th fret on the D string, and then 8th fret on the B string. So we cover those 3 notes. All G string, all G notes. So here it goes. And the pattern is 3, 5, 7 on the low E string, and then 3, 5, 7 on the A string, 4, 5, 7 on the D, 4, 5, 7 on the G, 5, 7, 8 on the B string. So that's the root note right here. But since we got one more string, we go ahead and finish up. So we go 5, 7, 8 on the high E string, and we end it playing on the root note again. Kind of give it a resolution back to the G. So that way it's easy. It's 3 notes per string, so you don't have to do something like 2 note and 3 note. It's difficult to do. All right. So what I did was I covered 2 octaves with three notes per string. It's a little stretch you got to do on your hands, but put a sticky note on that pattern I'll show you, because we're going to come back to it in the next lesson, or the lesson after. I'm going to show you that how to memorize using one pattern to cover all your major scales and all the modes and minor scales. All you have to do is just remember one pattern, and I'll go in depth into how to memorize that pattern in the next lesson or two. So let's get back to modes. There are 7 modes. Basically, what modes are saying is that all it is major scale. You start from a different notes in the major scale. So, for example, for the G major scale, I'll just show you. If you start from the G note, G to G, that would be the first mode, Ionian. Now, if you stick to the same major scale I just showed you, if you start from the 2nd note of G major scale, A to A, that's the 2nd note, A to A, within the major scale, within the G major scale. If you play A to A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, A, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, that would be 2nd mode, which is Dorian, would be A Dorian mode. Same concept if you start from the 3rd note of the G major scale, which is the E note, is the B note. If you go from B to B, so you have B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. Then you have the 3rd mode, which is Phrygian mode. So all it is a G major scale. You're starting from different notes within the major scale. You have a different mode. So that's all it is. So see that? You already understand what modes are. And the 4th mode is Lydian mode. It's called Lydian. We start from the 4th note of the major scale. So in this case, we'll start from C note of the G major scale. So C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. Then we have the C Lydian mode. We'll talk about that. We'll get back to that in a little bit. And the Mixolydian mode, which is the 5th mode, So naturally, that's the fifth note of the major scale, starting from the fifth note, ends on the same note, octave higher, was called Mixolydian mode. So within the G major scale, the fifth note is D. So it is D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. That would be Mixolydian mode. Continue the same concept. The sixth mode is Aeolian mode. Within the G major scale, the sixth mode would be the E note. So it would be E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. That would be your E Aeolian mode. By the way, that's the E note, which is the sixth note of G major scale. That's also the natural minor of G. So G major and E minor are very closely related. But anyway, Aeolian mode is just natural minor, but it starts from the sixth note of the G major scale. All right. Seventh mode is called Locrian mode, and starts from the seventh note of the major scale. So in the G major scale, the seventh note is F sharp. The G major scale only has one sharp, which is the F sharp. So F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. Then you have the Locrian mode. And then we're back to G again. G to G in the G major scale would be Ionian mode again. So that's the seven modes. Now you are asking, say, well, it starts from the different notes from the scale. Why is it called different mode? Why is it a name for a different order of the major scale? Well, the reason why is that because it has a different sound. Scale is made up of distance between two notes. Okay, so if you watch some of my music theory videos, the first two we're talking about intervals. The space between two notes, either you have a major. So, for example, you go from G to A. There's a major interval because you skip a note, and A to B, second and third note, is also skipping a note. So that's the also major interval. But the third and fourth note in the major scale is only half step, which is next to each other. So from the B note to the C note, there's no skipping note, so that's half step. See that's a minor interval. So the combination of different space between notes will give you a different sound. That's why every mode has different name for it, and we'll cover that in the next video to talk about how each mode sounds like. But all modes is just G major is just a major scale. So for example, if somebody say, let's jam on E Dorian mode, okay? Now, Dorian is the second mode of the major scale. So if somebody say E Dorian, then you know E is the second note of the major scale. If E is the second note, then you know that D has to be the first note. Then you jam in over a D major scale, over the E, using the E note to start with in the E chord, E minor chord. All right. So for example, if someone says, let's jam in A Phrygian mode. Now you know Phrygian is the third mode of the major scale. If A note is the third note of the major scale, what will be the major scale be? So A is the third note. Naturally, G is the second note. And the first note would be F. So it'll be playing F major scale. So basically, I'm jamming over A Phrygian mode. I'm playing F major scale. Same pattern I showed you earlier. Just moving up and down, so the same pattern. So if I take the G major scale pattern I show you at the third fret, same pattern, move down to A, whole step up, give A major scale. Move up again, B. That's B major scale. So once you know that, then you can kind of figure out what scale you're playing, and then you can jam over it. And the one last thing is very important is that one of my lessons talking about chord harmony. Every note in the major scale, if you play a chord over it, it's either major or minor. The rules are that in the major scale, the first note is a major chord. So G note in the G major scale, start from the G, will be G major. Second note is A. In the G major scale, will be minor chord, so it'll be A minor. Third note in the G major scale is also a minor chord, so if I play from E to E, I'm sorry, that's a B note. So it's B to B. That's a minor chord again. And the fourth is a major, from C to C. Fifth note is also a major, building on the D note. Sixth note is a minor chord, so building from E to E will be E minor. Seventh note is also minor, but that's the weirdest one, because that's actually is a Locrian mode. Stuff from F sharp to F sharp. That has you have a minor third and also a flat 5 in there. So stacking two minor third together. So let's look at that flat 5. So it's gonna have basically is a F sharp minor flat 5. So that's what it is, but still minor. So the rules are major, first note major, second and third is minor chords, fourth and fifth are major chords, and sixth is minor, and seventh is a minor flat 5, but still minor. So in the G scale, you got G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp minor flat 5, back to G major. Now you say, okay, what about when I play an A major scale? Same thing. So if you play A major scale, if you build on an A note, which is first note, it'll be A major chord. Second note B minor. Third note is minor. Fourth note, which is a D note on an A major scale, would be major. Fifth note of A major scale is E. That's also a major. Sixth note of the A major scale is a F sharp minor. So F sharp, so it's minor. So it'll be. Okay. And the seventh note in the A major scale is a G sharp. So it would be a G sharp minor flat 5. Or you could play it like this over on this chord right here. It's a little strange, minor flat 5, because you got a flat 5 in there. We'll talk about more in the chords when we dive into the modes. The rules are major, first chord, second and third chord minor, fourth chord is major, fifth chord is major, sixth chord is minor, seventh chord is minor, flat 5, and then you're back to your first note. Thanks for watching. So that's the base. That's the foundation of understanding modes.